Good evening and welcome to another edition of Nii Kpakpo Unplugged. I'm happy to come your way always because this is where happiness belongs. Look, today I'm not very happy because I just realized that some businesses in Ghana have an advantage, but they are not taking it. Look, we are all complaining that, the economy is not good, business is not coming. Already, there's not much money in the system. So when you have a small opportunity to make business or to do business, I think you should take it very, very seriously. Look, I went to do something at a certain government office. I don't want to mention it. But then I was told to do some photocopies, run some photocopies for my transaction. And I asked where I could do photocopies there and then. And they directed me to a small business center where I could do the photocopies. I entered this place and there were 3 or 4 people already sitting there waiting to get served. Okay, it's a very small place. I just came to run 2 photocopies and I had to sit down for 20 minutes. Can you believe? 20 minutes to run 2 photocopies, 2 papers, 1, 2. And the photocopier was there. Apparently, the one who was supposed to be working it was inside doing something. And as I sat there, 3 more people came to join the queue. Photocopy. And you are close to, a business where people would want to come and run photocopies. And I'm sure that's how come you even built that business there. And I have to wait for 20 minutes. And if you start losing business that way, in fact, the next time I go to do business there, they ask me to run photocopies. I'm not going to come to your shop. Guys, money no day the system inside. So when you have an opportunity to make some money, you have to be sharp. You have to be sharp. Come on. I was really, really disappointed because it was a young man running this business. So if tomorrow you don't get businesses anymore, then you say, Aye, ni toshiya. How can Aye affect your photocopy? Well, on Ask Nii Kpakpo this evening, I have a letter from Kwesi, and the letter reads, Hi Nii Kpakpo, I'm very surprised and scared right now. My wife just told me that I do not make love to her enough. And that she needs me to do it every day. I'm a lawyer and I spend a lot of time home reading. I go out to nice and exotic places with her and make sure that all her needs are met. But this bombshell is scary. Do you think she's cheating on me? Kwesi, she's not cheating on you. In fact, not yet. She's told you the truth, the whole truth. She needs it. Give it to her. The thing is that if you don't, somebody will. Look, sometimes we men, we feel that we are the ones that like sex so much, so we always rushing. Look, the women, they need sex more than we do. They need it more than us. They just don't talk. So if you are lucky to have a wife that tells you that, Charlie, give it to me every day. Chase her with it. 10 years. If she's running 10 years. When she's tired, you breathe small for her. When she catches her breath, 10 years, I go let you free. Next year, you do. Special thanks to Alisa Hotels Group for partnering us to bring you Nii Kpakpo Unplugged. Look, Alisa Hotels Group has the widest array of guest rooms. They have over 281 guest rooms, 15 conferencing facilities, exquisite conferencing facilities for all your events, both corporate and individual or personal, for your parties, for your lunches, everything. Log on to alisahotels.com. You'll be glad you did. All right, this evening I've got Bright Ackwerh in the house, and he's an artist. I'm sure a lot of you out there know him already. Well, he's going to tell us a little bit about himself and his work, and why he has this Rasta head. I don't know. Is he maybe when he grows bored at age 60 or something, you still have it around here that we don't know what we'll say about that. But Bright, welcome to Nii Kpakpo Unplugged. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Your last exhibition, where the show day? Where the show day?
Honestly, I don't know. We are all trying to find it.
You still didn't find where the show day?
No. That's why we're asking the question. Where the show day?
Yeah.
Where is the food?
And what answers did you get?
Well, we are still searching, but it looks like the Cho is somewhere that is inaccessible to us.
And us is who? Africans or
Me,
human
you,
beings?
everybody.
Everybody.
Everybody who is looking for the Cho.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's something we can see, we can smell, but we
But
don't
we're
know
not
where it
defined
is.
down. So what gave rise to that name of an exhibition?
Okay, so I've been painting a lot, creating a lot of work in social commentary and political satire, and somehow there's always been a constant reference to food in my work.
Okay.
Making of food, eating of food, because I think food and all those things about food mean a lot to me.
Yeah, right.
So,
like food, pa.
yeah, Charlie.
What's your favorite dish?
Banku and okra stew.
No, what feel near me? Really light, get in there. Tuna feel.
Beef,
Oh my
salted
God.
beef,
Dried
fish.
Tolo beefy. Oh my God.
Growing up, communal eating was something that was big in my house.
Right.
So lunchtime, supper time was the one time everybody had to be together to eat. Otherwise, you come and eat your leftovers. You see, and so food, generally, food means so much to me. What you eat, how you eat it, where your food comes from, what goes into your food, and what it means to eat something or eat a particular dish. And so I've been making work and like drawing analogies to all these little things. And at the time, we thought we could use food also as a metaphor to talk about politics, just general power struggles in the world, and how I depict those things in my art. So we selected a work, a curator and myself selected work that we could tie around the idea of food and eating food and making food. And so we thought, where the chode? Always wanted to ask that question. Where is the food? You know, who is really enjoying the food? We can smell it.
We know it's there.
We know it's there.
And somebody is enjoying it.
Someone is enjoying it, but yes. Yes.
That's kind of deep. That's kind of deep. So what kind of paintings did you exhibit in the exhibition?
Okay, so we had a selection of work, some already shown before and some also very new.
Okay.
Created somehow specifically for the exhibition.
Okay.
But it's satirical illustrations depicting various world leaders, opinion leaders, debating power-related issues using food.
Like you have Nkrumah there, you've drawn him in a different setting to depict a certain message.
Yes.
Let me digress a little bit and let's talk about politics for a bit. What is your opinion on Ghana's political landscape right now?
I think we are at a very, very interesting time. It's not something that hasn't happened before.
Okay.
It's just interesting that it's happening now in our time and we have the opportunity to contribute actively to it.
Okay.
You know, successive governments have told a certain line and they've largely built a certain sense of mistrust between the people and them, the political elite.
All right.
You know, and this is not just on like the largest government politics level.
Okay.
This will trickle down to institutional governance and workspace and all those environments. And lately you would have heard that there's been a lot of protests.
Yeah.
Citizens have taken to the streets
Of course.
to protest wildly
Yeah.
for things
That
they
are supposed
know
to have been
they
done.
deserve.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a beautiful time to be here because every time, you know, people make huge promises, we give them the jobs.
And then they forget they make
come,
promises.
And then they forget they make the promises, you
Yeah.
know. So, and it looks like, you know, that quiet, peaceful dialogue thing doesn't really work with our people. So now, you know, we have to do some action.
Right.
It has inspired a lot of young people now.
Right.
You know, when you dialogue peacefully for a while
And it's
it
not
doesn't
being
work,
adhered to.
do the other one.
Yeah. So
Because
if they don't
that
want
one,
you to do the other one,
then
they'll
they have
listen
to
to
be up
you
and
here.
doing.
That'd
Yes.
be
You can see how swiftly they responded to issues concerning the roads and road markings and street lights on the Medina Adenta stretch.
Road. Yeah.
It's unfortunate people had to die
before.
All the time you have to wait for people to die
before. You know, somebody made a very funny analysis of the Adenta bridge thing. He said, having Kenke without Potolo, it's like having a bridge without the steps to take
Charlie. It's also very interesting how those things supposed to be bridges have been abandoned. However, these same politicians find ways to hang their banners on them to say vote for me again.
Really? They're not even shy.
No. No, but it shouldn't be this.
There are lots of people who have talents, several talents, arts, music and stuff. Music, we've kind of found the code. But for art, how do you monetize this talent that you have? At least a few of you, have been able to, break the code or seen the light into monetizing your talent. How do you do that for the sake of our youth out there?
It's interesting how you put it. And when you talked about music, I noticed you said kind of found the code.
Yes.
I think a lot of people are still experimenting.
Okay.
Largely. Because the structures that exist in other spaces for artists of all kinds to use and then try and achieve that monetizing goal, largely it exists here, but not in the most popular kind of form.
Okay.
There aren't too many commercial galleries for a visual artist or an artist of the fine art kind. There aren't too many galleries out there, so largely we've had to make do with the few channels. And then I think people have had to be creative. Myself, I've had to try and create my own method. Not maybe my own method look at best practice elsewhere and then see how I can apply it here. Because it will be shameful to say you're waiting for a gallery to want to represent you before you
do your art.
It won't make sense.
Yes.
So my policy or my strategy since the beginning has been make do with what's available. You have the internet, you have social media,
right?
And these tools alone are more than enough.
Okay.
Staying and working here, I've had musicians blow up to the highest levels using SoundCloud.
Okay.
Other streaming services. So I'm like, you can do that with the visual arts too.
Also, yeah.
You can create your work, you can share your work, you can engage the audience, because primarily that is your mission.
Right.
And through that engagement, then you begin to attract those opportunities to make money. Yep. If it's money making that you want, then fine. If it's other things that you want also, it's fine. But you make do with what you have. You have the internet, you have social media. It's good. It's a good place to start.
Yes. And then
constantly create, constantly share, constantly engage. And when those who have the financial means to invest in an artist are looking out for an artist to invest in, they would come to you and give you all the proposals.
Yeah. What got you into art?
I grew up, I guess it was around me growing up.
Okay.
I don't remember the year, but I remember a long time ago in primary school, me and my senior brother, Solo, we used to make copies of these paintings my dad used to keep. Okay. There is a photographer called Nii Kpakpo.
Nii Kpakpo?
Yeah, Nii Kpakpo. He's a photographer now, but he used to paint a lot several years ago. And he was in Ackwerh Academy, where my dad taught.
Okay.
And he was kind of like my dad's ward.
Okay.
So anytime he would make paintings, he'd come and keep them at my dad's bungalow, and then I think a gallery would come and take them away and go and sell them.
Okay.
And so my Solo and myself after school would always try and copy Ojingba's paintings into our books. We never got to meet the man. But we knew the name and we knew Ojingba. So we used to make those drawings. My brother was always better than me, but somewhere along the line he found music.
Okay.
So he sort of put the drawing aside.
Right.
And I took it up.
And then you took it up. Were you not discouraged? Were you not beaten to stop? Because I know a lot of people who were beaten to stopping the art.
And that's a very, very unfortunate thing. I personally know people who were beaten, but I wasn't beaten. At least I wasn't beaten for my drawing.
Okay.
Maybe for other things. but no, my family has always been supportive. Even more when I managed to enter SHS in Ackwerh Academy and do the visual arts. They've been very, very supportive, and I don't think without that kind of support
you would have
just allowing me to do what I want to do was enough.
Yeah. And
without that freedom to just process, operate, and grow, I wouldn't be here talking to you. So.
Yeah. I wouldn't be beating the bush to come and find you, you know. And yes, and right now you're an international figure, you know. I'm sure somebody sitting somewhere will start drawing you also because you are
only
you are
beautiful pictures. One thing I wanted to say when you started talking about how valuable art is that maybe it's also high time our people look into it. You know, if we've been looking this way for so long and we are not doing so well, why don't we look at
the other way also?
Because you realize there's a lot of like immense talent in the arts over here.
Over here, yes.
Yet
so many people.
We are not tapping into it. Just a few people are able to climb that ladder.
Yeah.
You know, why don't we provide more ladders so more people could climb? Because addressing that issue means we are addressing a lot of other things like unemployment things and like you know, people having so much talent and just burning out before they have a chance to blow up and all those things and the things they bring. We're solving it if we put a few more ladders on this side.
On this side so that people can climb.
So that when you make art or you live the art life, you are not always seen with those negative connotations. Like it's one of the reasons why people beat their children when they want to.
Yeah, because they don't know where it's going to lead.
You know,
but
like,
then if there's a future in there, people
there is a future in there. If people could see
the future,
perhaps they now start encouraging. I see a lot of people encouraging their children to go and play football now.
Yeah, because
now we know that Charlie's on football, kick football for a week.
You know,
hundreds of thousands of pounds.
Have you sold any of your paintings for $100,000?
Not yet, but very soon.
We're getting there. Invite me for that one after you've sold it. And one with champagne. But in that vein, would you, you know, spend a minute to say something to the young artists out there to encourage them and to let them know that they're in the right direction?
Wow. I'm a young artist, so
you are a little older than they are.
Oh, Charlie, what I would say is, if you really mean to do it, you have to commit to it.
Right.
There is no other way to go about it. It's never going to be an easy choice. You would probably never get the support that you want.
Okay.
But I think you owe it to yourself to just keep at it and keep working at it, reworking, you know, trying several things until it works out.
Right.
And you have to read and be knowledgeable about what is happening elsewhere, not just in your own corner.
Local champion.
No. The era of local champion is long gone.
Right.
So be in your locality, do things that are sensitive to your locality, but have an international mind. You know, now you have internet.
Yeah.
You have the whole world in your palm.
In your palm, yes.
So if you don't do it, I mean,
it's up to you.
Yeah.
When you come So well, Bright is still here. We're going to play Unravelled right after this break. Don't you go away. Welcome back. It's time now for Unravelled. I'm going to play Unravelled with Bright. Here, Bright, are you ready? No, it's all right. It's not. I'm just going to fire the questions and then you answer them as much as you can. Who is your childhood celebrity crush?
There used to be a woman on TV. She used to read the news on GTV. I think her name was Ackwerh. Yeah, I remember a number of times just kneeling in front of the TV set and
oh my
blowing her
goodness,
kisses and all that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Ackwerh, where is she? I'm sure she's somewhere.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, a very, very long time. What's your favorite sport?
Football, hands down.
Football.
Yes.
Okay. Do you play?
Yes.
Okay. Which is your local team?
I'm an Ackwerh boy, so.
Ackwerh, so phobia. Until the bones are rotten. Somebody said the bones are rotting small.
Bones, yeah.
So wait, who's your favorite politician in Ghana?
Hands down, John Dramani Mahama.
Why?
Because he inspired me to start political satire.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
All
right.
Like he gave so much content.
Right.
That I just had to. It was so easy to move into it. He's not my favorite leader.
Right.
But he's my favorite politician because
he actually
inspired my
you
political satire.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And he actually inspired you to make more money.
Yeah, he's also a big supporter of my work. So.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Do you have a secret talent? We know you're an artist, but do you have a secret talent?
I don't want people coming to me with money for me to tell them things. But usually when I see things in my dreams,
they come through.
So is that a talent? I can be a prophet.
I go feel, back for the back as you interpret.
I'll just give the prophecies.
Consultation.
Yes.
And we'll watch someone one of these days. Who would you trade places with for a day?
I've never imagined myself being anyone else than me.
Other than you. What's the weirdest job you've ever had?
I don't know. Everything I've ever done, I've done it with a certain sense of purpose.
So all right.
I've always approached it very.
What do you wish you were better at?
I wish I was a better footballer when I was younger. At a point, I give up on football to study art.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish I was better then. Maybe.
You're a celebrity, so let me ask you this. What's the best perk of being a celebrity?
I think, hands down, meeting people who recognize you and connect with you because of what you do and just are willing to contribute their energy to whatever you may be doing.
Is there something you long believed was true but later realized wasn't?
Maybe that God was a white bearded man sitting in a chair in the clouds.
With a staff.
With all of us in his palm and just looking at us. And he's a man and he's looking at us.
Right. Yeah. So what do you realize God is?
God is male and female energy and infinite knowledge and wisdom and cannot be quantified as a human, male or female.
Is there something people don't know about you?
Yes, people don't know a lot about me. I think people just know me because of my work. And sometimes it's sad, but at other times I think it's okay that people don't mix my personal life with my work. I like to have my private life elsewhere where nobody comes to bother me.
Where you're stranded with somebody that you don't want to mention. If you could speak to an animal, which animal would that be? Maybe
mosquitoes. Imagine if you had all the mosquitoes on your side.
You know what I'm saying?
They're your friends.
I say, come on.
You could send them on
small
errands.
That's nice. So what is your proudest accomplishment?
Being in a position to take care of myself and my family, hands down.
Nice.
I don't think anything will ever beat that.
All right. Brights, thank you so much for coming through to spend the evening with us on Nii Kpakpo Unplugged. It's been a great pleasure having this conversation with you. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sure you've enjoyed this conversation. I've enjoyed myself. You should have. Make a date with me same time next week. And don't forget to connect with me at the Kpakpo Scene on social media. Keep it unplugged.